Robert Rodriguez has a book called Rebel Without a Crew that I read in my 40s. And I've said this about 400 times because I tell every semester to my college students, that especially if you're a junior college student, that you should read this book before you're 40. You should read it when you're a teenager. You should read it before you go to any kind of school so that you can see how a person became an A-list director by exploiting the system. It is a worthwhile book. Robert Rodriguez, Rebel Without a Crew. I get no royalty. I'm just telling you. It is highly recommended reading for students of mine.
The Joe Rogan episode it is also very good as well, because he goes through everything I suspect he goes through in his book, but it is conversational.
And he talks about his 10-minute film school and things like that.
Yeah. He talks about his sticky notes, all that stuff, his storytelling. Yeah. But the thing I want to talk about from that podcast specifically was he has 5 kids, I think. And
he has 5 kids.
I think he has 5 kids. And he was talking about how he was amazed by no matter how hard he tried to push them in a direction, their identities and their perspectives on things would always shine through. It's like no matter what the environment was, this person, their soul kind of shined out of, like, he would tell them how to make movies and he would tell them to do all these things, and then they would come back to him with new insights that he didn't think of himself, like one of his sons ended up, like, he got really into knife making, and at 18 years old he applied to be on Forged in Fire. It's like a knife making TV show, reality TV show, where people make knives and then they show it. And he ended up winning that season.
Wow.
$10,000.
Wow.
And he was saying, it's like, I did not push that at all. I don't care. I don't know anything about knife making, but for some reason, this person had this thing within them to go and do that thing, And I think it's like, I guess I wanted to talk about the origin of those interests, or the origin of, I guess, where those come from and how do you nurture them and cultivate them, I guess, in yourself and other people.
Well, that's a great, big, abstract thing about where does it come from. Yeah. Philip Glass set out pursuing music when he was young because his question was, where does music come from? Now he's in his 80s, he's getting close to 90, and he said, I never found out where music comes from. It doesn't make any difference where music comes from because some people will make music, some people will not. Yeah. But back to one way that it comes, wouldn't it be great to be Robert Rodriguez's kid?
Right.
I mean, if he is teamed up with someone as parents, they are nudging, if not pushing. They are giving opportunities to the kids, and then they are looking at the kids and saying, what have we here? And blowing on the ember that kid sparks anyway. That's one thing. Is environment is a huge thing about it. And if your family isn't going to be the environment where it's going to happen, you find a new family. That's a big, difficult thing, but it's why it's why some people thrive outside of their family when they find their people.
Well,
tribes.
I think the thing there is it's not just wealth too, because it's like, obviously Robert Rodriguez is wealthy and he was able to provide some.
He wasn't when he started out. Yeah. He wasn't when he was attending the junior college in Texas.
Well, and it's like, what do you like? So it's not wealth. It's something else. It's like environment, or it's like, and I don't know what it is. It's security, but
you can say from the outside what it is. It's that they've got a drive to do it.
Yeah.
But then in Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi's book, sorry that I don't pronounce his name exactly right, but he pointed out that it is not just from within, it is environment. He wrote a book on creativity, which the first part of it was very discouraging, is that you are the result of a whole bunch of forces. I read it in the 90s, and that you cannot be a great filmmaker, period, if you were born in medieval Europe. Just can't be. Sorry. You don't get the opportunity to be an animator or a filmmaker. But he develops that thought, so you recognize you are at the mercy of a lot of factors. But then at the end of the book, he does give what their long-term research on what makes people creative, some helpful things from it. But was I interrupting a train of thought?
No, totally. Go ahead. I guess that's kind of what I meant with the Malcolm Gladwell thing, that you are controlled by your environment. But if you can't be a great filmmaker or animator, that doesn't mean you can't be a great blacksmith or something, you know? And I don't know. It's like, to me, I feel like when I attribute, I don't want to sound like I'm casting blame or anything, but when I attribute the things that have like hindered my own success or hindered my own enthusiasm for trying to be successful, it's when people like tell me I can't, it's when people tell me I can't do something, you know, or when people tell me there's something in my life that I'm interested in that is not worth pursuing, you know?
When somebody tells you there's something in your life that is not worth pursuing, it makes you want to prove them wrong, or it makes it you assimilate.
It's at least from a young age, that I feel like that's the origin of what prevents someone from actually going and trying to do something. You know,
it prevents some people, and then it does the opposite with others.
But I think it's like, but there is, to me, like an idea of like a better and worse environment for cultivating.
Oh yeah, there it is.
There's no guarantee, but on average, you're able to like make it come out of people more often if you're letting people explore themselves more, you know, and being more open to trying things. Like I suspect with Robert Rodriguez, he wasn't trying to direct him to be a knife maker. He was saying, just do whatever you want and just do it well, you know? And like sort of having faith that his kid would go and put in the work to do something well enough to end up on a TV show doing this thing to win $10,000, you know? Mm-hmm. And yeah, I guess it's like a version of, I don't know, just like, I guess we've talked about like whatever, like what's the thing that is like what's the best version of like an art school or like an art school environment, you know? And to me, it's like a combination of the really like the strict or regimented study time where you're learning perspective and Andrew Loomis and all the technical things that go along with anatomy. But then there's another part of it that's like just pure like exploration, you know?
Yeah. Play versus work.
Yeah.
No, not play versus work. Play and work.
Play and work. Yeah.
And play. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess it's like, I'm sure if we were to go on to the Desperado film set, there's probably a fair amount of it that's not very serious, you know, or it's very crude or kind of casual, especially because he was producing and trying to make everything himself, you know. Like in the Rogan episode, he was talking about how when he was filming his first movies, he couldn't check if the camera he was filming on was working. So he had to have faith that, you know, after putting $100,000 or whatever he put into this movie, that the film was going to be able to be developed and turned into a movie. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been able to. But he did it. He recorded the movie assuming that everything was working, you know?
Yeah. And he lost total sync.
Yeah.
Of the film to the sound, and that created trouble for him. And then when he fixed it, it ended up turning out to be part of his style. People saw that as part of his style.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to do?
I mean, do you want to keep talking, or is there anything?
I want to keep talking about something interesting. This is not interesting me.
Okay.
It's too repetitive. We've talked about this before over and over and over. I want to either break new ground or have some fun or play some games or get in an argument or share favorite things. By the way, the Freakonomics guys, the two Stevens, they really put energy into looking at things and saying, how did that happen? And going back and seeking with the data how unexpected origins contributed to that phenomenon. I think that you might get into that. But you're interested in where all this comes from. And the thing about where does creativity come from and where does the nurture or the nature thing happen, all of that gets so, I don't know, it gets impractical to me at some point. It just becomes this philosophical argument about stuff that it doesn't make any difference.
I think that's true, but I guess to me, the interest there for me is like someone like Robert Rodriguez can go and exist and be successful in the film industry, but so can James Cameron, who's again on the opposite end of the
Yeah,
spectrum
he's on the opposite end of the
pure production, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like it's just strange to me to see that they can still exist and learn from each other. And
how does this relate to you and where you're going next?
Well, I think it relates to me from the perspective that like, how do you move forward with things? Like, how do you know what to do next? How do you like, I've been talking to people about, so I mentioned this in the last podcast, but on YouTube, for example, you can do thumbnail tests and you can see which thumbnail is doing better or worse than another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can see like a clear preference for what your audience of 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 people preferred from one thumbnail to another. And the point I'm bringing up here, and the reason I think it's relevant, is that in the moment, I really don't know which one is going to do better. So that's why I'm testing all three, but often there's a clear preference for which one that people preferred, you know? Mm-hmm. And I think that there's like, the more that I do it, the better I'm getting at understanding what do people actually want from me, you know? Mm-hmm. And I guess that's what this whole conversation is about, like navigating, how do you know what to do next when you don't know, I guess what
to do next.
What to do next. And again, I'm sorry if this is...
So you're navigating how to do that by doing research on how people click on the clickbait that you put in front of them or don't.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's relevant to this whole thing because I think there is and I guess we could debate about it, but I think there is an overarching right and wrong answer. Like, I just don't know, you know, but if I was researched enough and knew enough things and experienced enough, I would be able to actually make a video that would reliably get like 10 to 20 million views pretty consistently.
That's right.
And it's not a limitation of luck or time. It's just precise decision making, you know?
Yeah. And it's all focused on marketing.
Yeah.
And it's making marketing somewhere between an art and a science. I got a hunch that this would be something. The science is the research of whether it turned out. It's where my energy goes least. And it's where my energy goes least because I feel like some of the best stuff I've done is the stuff that sells least